There's a phenomenon that psychologists call the halo effect. It refers to our tendency to use one piece of evidence about someone to form an overall impression of them. It's very common in the fund industry. When a fund manager performs well, even over a short period of time, we assume they'll continue outperforming in the future.
The legendary bond king Bill Gross is an example of that, where he was very well regarded for being a successful bond fund manager, because a certain set of economic scenario presented themselves and they happen to have favored his particular investment style, and then of course that dispensation came to an end, a different environment presented itself, and he wasn't able to replicate or to maintain that level of outperformance, and then he moved to another firm. That didn't help.
Another example of the halo effect was the way that Neil Woodford was hailed as Britain's Warren Buffett. It seemed he could do no wrong.
Neil Woodford essentially made his career by avoiding the so-called tech bubble in the late 1990s. If you took out that single decision, i.e. avoiding large growth stock or tech stocks during that particular market condition, his subsequent results were actually incredibly mediocre. But it didn't stop the media, investors, private investors, institutional investors, and indeed advisors from continuing to give him the regard that he had earned as a result of that.
It didn't end well. Woodford set up his own fund management company and flopped spectacularly. His investors lost large sums of money. What happened then? Media attention turned to the next star manager to anoint. Investment
Management business is really, at the heart of it, a marketing business. The investment management industry has a huge budget, and they are prepared to spend that money to persuade ordinary investors, financial advisors, and indeed the media, to not look at the evidence, but to focus on the hype. What we know works in the long term, as far as investing is concerned, is really simple. Invest in the long run, stay invested, diversified broadly. I think it's been described as, watching paint dry, right? As a journalist, you can't really write about that all the time.
There are several lessons to learn from the Woodford experience. One of them is to remember that fund managers are only human. They don't wear halos. You mustn't be swayed by the media hype.